somebody's life or whatever it may be, and we keep going back to that testimony, that's good. But you can't live on yesterday's testimony. You don't build a shrine on what God did yesterday. You have to move on forward to today. God did miraculous things in our lives and in our ministry. I love to go down back to the basement over and over again and reminisce of the miracles and the miracles. But God is still doing miracles here today, this moment. We can't keep going back to what He did yesterday. He moves on forward, and the greater things are coming in every way. That's the kind of God that we serve. You see, we have to move on. If He did it before, He can do it again. Many times when I feel discouraged, and I think I don't even feel God. I'm not supposed to feel God. Do you know that? And sometimes you could have so many friends, you don't feel them, do you?
No.
They're there. They're your friends. Again, I'm going to say that God is real no matter how you feel. But many times when I feel that way, I reminisce on past victories. I reminisce how God answered prayer, knowing that He'll do it again. He's the God of all flesh. Nothing's too difficult for Him, and I'll say that over and over again. And you have to believe that and hide it in your spirit. So don't go chasing and running after what you heard is happening someplace else. To say, oh, God is doing this here and He's doing this there. And you go running and chasing, and what happened? It's like you're chasing your own tail. And God wants you to just be still and calm down. I believe in these days that God is going to have a people who know they are with miracles and with signs and with wonders. You don't have to look for anybody else. It's in you, because they're following you. You see, many times they'll say, run here, and the fire's there, and the fire's there. And you know what? When we were baby Christians, we did that. It was nice. But then we realized, wow, we have the same thing right here.
That's
You know what
right,
I mean?
that's
Pastor Fred and I traveled 3 days on the road. And traveling 3 days on the road with my husband made you a prayer warrior. Because he always had this thing, he has to conquer the road. And if you really had to even go to the bathroom and stop, you couldn't, because I never understood how it was losing time. He said, all that time we could have been traveling, but to go where? To go where? It doesn't matter what time you get there. And we traveled 3 days to go to Florida to see that big, great movement of God, Brownsville Revival. And let me tell you, I will never forget, but we had to be there in Pensacola, Florida. We brought back the tapes and everything. And from 6:30 in the morning, you weren't allowed to line up before 6:30. We lined up to go to a service at 7:30 at night. And the people put up tents all over. And it was amazing. They were singing. And so many miracles were right there in that parking lot. You know why? People had a spirit of expectation. They knew these things would happen. And then after waiting online and then the sweat and being realistic, and those porta potties at 120 degrees, we did all this because we wanted more of God. And when we got inside that building, of course you felt the presence of God. But you know what? It was the same that we have here. And we looked at each other and we said, oh, this is where we have home. Yeah, this is it. God is every place. The Lord is in this place and you didn't even know it, because you're running and searching. And God saying, be still. You are with signs and wonders. My word is in you. I equipped you with everything you need. You don't have to go running into circles. And we did that so many times. But you know what? Then the Lord finally showed us just to be still, as I said. It's right here. But all you have to do, as I said, when you were born again, God put everything you needed inside of you. But all you have to do is to pull it out of you. What God has put into you. The fire is in you. But the circumstances in your life and some of the people who you hang around with have drained it out of you and deactivated you. Because you're depending on your five senses of what you see and what you hear. And